Best scientific arguments for the existence of God debunked. Argument 1. God created the Big Bang that created the universe and the origin of time. Argument 2. God fixed the values of the 5 universal fundamental constants, C, H, G, K, Kb, to allow life to occur. The short answers. The 5 universal fundamental constants are the physical constants required to describe the 5 thermodynamic properties of a Planck space fluid quantum, i.e., m, v, t, s, and q. What came before the Big Bang? A volume of Planck space fluid that had reached its maximum stable mass as the core of a black hole. These short answers come from a new theory called quantized space fluid, QSF, theory. The cosmological model that follows from this theory is developed in a series of papers that are available in Adobe's PDF format at the Fixing Cosmology YouTube channel. Given next are short discussions on 1. The cosmological implications of the Planck space fluid's existence. 2. The thermodynamic model for the Planck space fluid, and 3. The calculation of the universal fundamental constants from Planck quantum properties. Cosmological implications of the existence of a Planck space fluid. A Planck space fluid in the core of a black hole will produce radiation from the vacuum closest to the core surface. This process occurs as the result of the same physics that describes the creation of Hawking radiation just above the event horizon of a black hole. The radiation near the core will have a much higher energy than radiation at the event horizon. Near-core radiation will approach Planck fluid values for density and temperature. These conditions allow nucleation of Planck fluid droplets from the radiation fluid. These droplets are then gravitationally pulled to the core's surface, thus adding mass to the core. This core growth process eventually ends when the core reaches a maximum mass and size. At the maximum mass, the core becomes mechanically unstable and decays into the spatially flat, isotropic, and homogeneous Big Bang radiation. An inflation event does not occur. This model for black holes means that the initial conditions of all universes are the same and that the 5 universal fundamental constants would be the same in all universes. It also means that all universes are finite and independently created. Finally, it means that all universes are part of an infinite and eternal multiverse. Thermodynamic model for the Planck space fluid. The Planck space fluid is the maximum density and temperature fluid that can fill a volume in nature, while the vacuum space fluid is the minimum density and temperature fluid that can fill a volume in nature. Both space fluids are spatially flat, isotropic, and homogeneous. They both obey the laws of classical physics, quantum physics, and fluid thermodynamics. The mass, m, volume, v, temperature, T, and entropy, S, Planck quantum properties are consistent with the ideal gas equation PV equals kBT for a single quantum, where the Planck entropy equals the Boltzmann constant, Kb, and the pressure, P equals the energy density, mc2/v. The ratio of P to energy density is unity, which is a maximum value for cosmological fluids. Evaluation of the quantum self-interaction energies for matter and antimatter Planck quanta indicates an equality of classical gravitational and electromagnetic forces on the square surfaces of cubic Planck quanta with side lengths equal to the Planck length. This force equality for the maximum quantum self-interaction is the consequence of the Planck charge, which is independently defined in terms of Coulomb's constant. This interaction force equality calculation also allows expression of the permittivity of space in terms of the Planck mass and Planck charge. This equality or degeneracy of classical electrostatic and gravitational forces in the Planck quantum replaces the idea of unification of fundamental forces as a single force. Calculation of the 5 universal fundamental constants from Planck quantum properties. The general expression given above the table is for the calculation of the 5 universal fundamental constants using the 5 Planck quantum properties, mass, temperature, entropy, volume, and charge together with the various property exponent values given in the table. For example, the value of Newton's gravitational constant, denoted by the symbol g, is equal to the Planck mass raised to the -2 power times the Planck temperature times the Planck entropy times the cube root of the Planck volume. Below the table is an alternate set of mathematical expressions given in terms of Planck quantum properties, the speed of light and the reduced Planck constant. This second set also allows calculation of the 5 universal fundamental constants. The relations between this second set of expressions and the physics of the Planck quantum are described in the text in parentheses.